Hi, everyone. Welcome to Financial Insights. I'm Linda, your accounting coach. So, today we're continuing our conversation on good habits regarding managing business finances. I don't know about you, but I love writing checks. Back then, I would just love it because I like the documentation. I like having proof that actually the payment was sent. And not only the payment was sent, but I actually had a carbon copy. And in high school, one of the reasons I fell in love with accounting because I just like that whole process of that check and balances of writing a check, getting that bill, writing that check and putting in the check register and making sure everything balances. However, we know in today's world, we are all using technology. So we're using PayPal, ACH, Stripe, Square, whatever it may be to pay or even receive money from customers. And with that, it does come with more responsibility. So we have to understand when we're using all of these different systems, we have to understand the fees, we have to understand how the data is going to get in our accounting software. And so there's so much more to it because I know a lot of times when we see those commercials or we look at the website, it sounds really good. We're going to collect those that funds from your customer really fast. However, someone has to manage the process. So, one of the ways to manage your business finances is understand how the cash is going to come in. So, I'm going to give you a couple questions to ask yourself. So, number one, write down all of the systems you're using. So, that could be PayPal, Square, Shopify, QuickBooks, Zero. Excuse me, write down all of those systems. And then when you're writing down those systems, write down the purpose. So you use PayPal to do what? You use Stripe to do what? Shopify to do what? You want to get a clear picture of all the different systems because you may find that you don't need all of these systems, different systems to help you manage cash. Number two, you want to understand how is sales collected. I have met with many business owners who don't understand how sales is collected. So, for instance, if you're using Square, that means that's where your revenue is generated. That's where everything starts. Everything starts in Square. So, if the ordering starts there, everything starts in Square. So, you need to understand where is the sales collected? Where's the sales starting to generate? That's very important because from there you need to understand then, okay, how does the sales go into the bank account? So that's the next question. You need to make sure you understand where's the sales generated and then how does it flow to the bank account. You'll be surprised a lot of businesses do not understand that process. They just think that, okay, if I just sign up with Square, it's all going to be good and it can just flow to QuickBooks. That's not the case. Number three, you want to also ask yourself, okay, just mention this. How does the sales get into the accounting software? Whether you're using QuickBooks, Zero, or Zoho, you need to understand how will the sales get into QuickBooks. And a lot of times that's just coming through a deposit. The next step you need to ask yourself when that deposit comes, how do I categorize it? Because remember, if Square or PayPal is making a deposit, that deposit is net deposit. And what that means is that's revenue minus fees. So you want to get a clear picture of all that process. Lastly, you want to understand what are all the fees that you're paying. So you have the PayPal, you have Stripe, you have QuickBooks. You want to understand and know what are the fees. So that way you can include it possibly back to your customer or your client in their in the price to them. So you definitely want to make sure a lot of people don't track the fees that they actually are paying. So you want to make sure you understand that because remember, those fees are taken away from your revenue and taken away from cash. So to manage to have good business habits, you have to understand how is cash coming in, what are the systems, what are the fees that I'm paying for, and most importantly, how is it going to get into my accounting software? You need to understand that because as we know, you need financial reports. So I suggest to you, take some time this month, write down all of the systems that they're utilizing, write down the purpose, and actually see if there's some redundancy and see if there's possibly a way to streamline the process. And most importantly, this will help you and your accounting professional understand how cash is generated so you can have good financial reports. Hopefully, you find this information helpful. Make sure you share, comment, and like, and I'll see you next time. Take care.